we have to recognize that when the insurance company comes down, their goal is to set the number very, very low. That's one of the reasons I want to get in at the start, because I want the insurance company fighting against my number versus me fighting against their number. So when we come in right away, we try to have an estimate in place. The policy says, and most people don't realize this, the policy says that as the insured, it is the insured's responsibility to provide the insurance company with an estimate and an outline of what has to be replaced, what has to be done to return to pre-loss condition. So most people say, well, I'm going to call the insurance company and they're going to give me an estimate. Well, that's like calling the attorney that works for the other side. How often are you going to do that and expect good results?
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Erika, and today I'm joined by someone that I'm excited to chat with, Pinny Morozow. He's been making serious moves in the public adjusting space, helping property owners navigate crazy insurance claims after losses. Pinny, it's awesome to have you on the show today.
Awesome to be here.
I think our listeners are going to have a lot to learn about the public adjusting space. So let's dive on in. First, I have to ask, what was that journey like? What drew you to becoming a public adjuster?
Great question. About 10 years ago, a friend of mine, somebody stopped me and said, hey, you should come. You're a contractor. This is what you do. Come learn what a public adjuster is. So I went to him. I went to the meeting and I loved it. I'm like, great. I can use all my knowledge in construction, get my clients money and not have to do the work. I'll get you the money from insurance. Leave me alone. Let me go out and, to help get somebody else money. And it changed my philosophy. Just, I went through the numbers of what I needed as a contractor and the reality of what I can get clients in. And actually, my real interest is I wanted to be able to help more investors because my interest is real estate investments.
Yeah, Penny, was there a moment when you started doing public adjusting that you knew this was going to be your lane, that there was someone that you helped and you knew this is it. I'm always going to keep doing this.
So there have been a number of times and the biggest thing that I can do, when I give a client a check, whether it's an $80,000 check, a $200,000 check, that beautiful smile, especially when the client was struggling with not knowing how they're going to pay the bills, and then I get them the results, that's been a phenomenal reality. But if I look back at my own story, learning what I've learned and recognizing what happened to me when I was with my ex downstairs, her parents, we were living downstairs. We had all our stuff in the garage, and the wonderful electric company cuts a line right through the sewer. And now I look back, and this happened before I became a public adjuster. But if I look back to what happened then and I said, hey, if I knew then what I know now.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I wouldn't be out of pocket for this. I borrowed lots of money. I redid the basement. I was a contractor back then. I physically did the whole work myself. And I put money on top of that. And I wouldn't be out of pocket because of it. So when I knew that for myself and I see the people I help day in and day out, definitely. And there's so many people struggling. And when I guide them through the process and at the end of the day, they turn around and they say thank you every single time, it brings a smile to my face. I'm able to move on and be happy and joyful. And really, yeah, every single time it's like I constantly have this love when I get this appreciation. So you ask me about this question, it's constant. That's what keeps me going.
I love that. And we don't have a lot of public adjusters that come on this podcast. So I'm curious what you would say. What is the biggest misconception that people have when they're working with you?
So there's a few misconceptions. One of them is, well, I could do the job myself. And I agree. Everything I do, and probably the same thing anything else anybody does. You as somebody going ahead and dealing with it can handle it yourself. But the knowledge to get you the results is knowledgeable. It's like I remember we once called somebody. I was working. This is when I was 14. I was working in a bookstore, and the neighboring the neighboring property, they brought down the gate and it got jammed out of position, and they had to call an expert to come and fix it. And the guy fixed it, and he popped it back into place, and he was there for 10 minutes, and he charged $350. And you're like, why? Well, I got out of my bed. I knew where to whack it, right? So yeah, you're gonna pay for that expertise. So I have clients that call me and then decide that they're going to do it themselves. And then afterwards, they call me back and they're struggling and they're trying to get me to take on the claim. And not always am I prepared to take it on afterwards, because a lot of times I've got everything screwed on. Not to say it's not covered, but you presented it incorrectly. And now I have my fight 10 times harder. So, yes, sometimes I'll take on claims afterwards, but my fight is 10 times harder. I think that itself is an educated client are my best clients. Those are the ones that call me first thing. Those are the ones that ask me questions before they even think of a claim. And sometimes I turn them down. Sometimes I say, don't even file a claim. It's not uncommon. It's actually, I turn down more claims than I take on.
Yes, and you also told me that you really value the quality of these, and you also like digging into the harder ones. So, how do you balance all of those things at the same time?
So so I've done a number of things over the last 10 years, and you just may want to make sure your mic is facing you, because sometimes I can hear you a little bit low. Um, but I balanced a number of things, but I've also done things differently over the last 10 years. I've tried to learn things as I went along. And the biggest thing I have now is I have a team around me. So, yes, I'm the customer care, I'm my direct line to my clients, but I trigger a team of people to handle the claims. And it changes how I interact with clients. Um, By having a team and an office.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
The claims get resolved and everything is moving forward, and I'm more customer care. So you asked how we can handle these claims, how everything gets handled. I have the right people in place to get the results needed. I also am more focused on quality rather than quantity. So I'm not trying to deal with, I could handle 100 claims a year. I'm not trying to handle 100 claims a year, right? I'll take 50 or 60 claims, right? So it's really picking and choosing and recognizing that, hey, this person, I'm bringing value to the table, I'm going to take it on. Hey, that person, he can get results without me and do just as good as without me, and therefore I'm going to give him a little advice and walk. So it's recognizing that balance. 9 out of 10 times, a person wants to use somebody like myself for a number of reasons.
Mhm. So, Penny, when it comes to working with the insurance companies through this, how do you help bridge the gap between what the insurance company initially offers and then what the insured actually deserves?
Okay. You brought up two things over here that I'm going to clarify. Number one, you said what the insurance company initially offers. We have to recognize that when the insurance company comes down, their goal is to set the number very, very low. That's one of the reasons I want to get in at the start, because I want the insurance company fighting against my number versus me fighting against their number. So when we come in right away, we try to have an estimate in place. The policy says, and most people don't realize this, the policy says that as the insured, it is the insured's responsibility to provide the insurance company with an estimate and an outline of what has to be replaced, what has to be done to return to pre-loss condition. So most people say, well, I'm going to call the insurance company and they're going to give me an estimate. Well, that's like calling the attorney that works for the other side. How often are you going to do that and expect good results, right? So it very rarely happens. It does. I've come across some good adjusters that do decent, but that's not the common adjuster I come across, right? So 9 out of 10 times, if I'm taking on the claim, I'm going to actually bring my value there, right? So at the end of the day, number one is recognizing that the goal is to set our number correctly, which is what it returns to pre-loss condition, which means that if I had this wall damage, I now have to paint the whole room. Hey, 1 second, the house is continuous. Yes, I've done $30,000 worth of paint because one room was damaged. Because the home was a nice home and it's continuous paint. And that's the reality. That is what it's cost to do pre-loss condition. So when you recognize the damage, that makes a complete different opinion and different visualization of what you're looking at. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Have there been any cases that have been monumental for you, whether it was the results from it or, just, different challenges that you were able to overcome?
So there's been many claims and every claim is different. So you ask me challenges. I mean, an example, hurricane claim. The entire home completely destroyed. And the insurance company says, well, it was floods. We're not covering floods. Well, we managed to identify that, hey, the home was still there, right? We agree that the bottom half is flood. Well, we want to get paid for the upper half because that was the wind. And when you start separating damages and when you become more clear on damages, it's like I won't file a claim without clarity as to what caused the loss.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And when you provide clarity to that, everything runs smoothly. There's a rule of KISS, keep it simple, silly, right? Keep everything simple. The simpler we make it and the easier we advise, we show the insurance company. Yes, we try to do the job for the insurance company. We want to provide them with an estimate. A lot of public adjusters go ahead and say, we'll wait for the insurance company to give us an estimate and then we'll fight them with it. I don't like that theory. I like, let me do as much work as possible for the insurance adjuster. I want them to take my estimate, do a little bit repair, and then send me the check. So yeah, I've had on my estimates, which to me, a proper claim. If my client now needs to hire me, my cost should be there for me to do the work. The insurance company always negotiates it out. I've been paid a few times on it because I did my estimates. Here it is. The insurance company went ahead, they looked at it, they accepted it, and they paid me. All right. So if I make the insurance adjuster's job easy, and he looks at it and he evaluates it and they recognize, yes, this is a reasonable cost, they're going to pay it, right? Versus the insurance company, the insurance adjuster has the obligation for the insurance company, and sometimes they will negotiate very, very differently. There's time and time again that I come across all different sorts of companies that miss half the expenses. My goal is to make sure it's in there. Remember, I still work for the homeowner or the property owner. The insurance adjuster still works for the insurance company. So there's still going to be arguments, fighting, this and that, etc. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, I want to set the number where I want to set it. So he's fighting against my number versus his number. And now I'm fighting against his number.
Yeah. Penny, when it comes to the investors who are listening to this podcast today, what do you want them to know when it comes to adjusting? Is it good to have a relationship with a public adjuster before something happens?
100%. But more importantly, have a relationship with a public adjuster so that you use us as a resource. I can't answer for others. I can answer for myself. I have time and time again that investors call me asking me questions, right? You don't want to file a claim unless you have actual coverage, right? So number one, make sure you actually have coverage. Make sure you provided appropriate information to the insurance brokerage that now reflects the coverage. Because if an investor went ahead and told the insurance company, for example, I had a investor that called me and said, "Hey, I lived in this home. I now, about 2 years ago, I decided to move out and I rented the whole thing out." Well, guess what? He had a homeowner policy. A homeowner policy no longer covers the home if he's not in there. I said, "I'm not taking on the claim. Good luck." Right? And yes, I continued giving him guidance, but I didn't take on the claim, right? Because if I would have gotten involved in that claim, the insurance company changes the adjuster to be a higher end adjuster to fight the claim, and they start looking at it more thoroughly. So they would have denied everything completely, right? So something like that, I walked away. I said, you're going to get better results on your own. Normally, I will bring in my mitigation company for a number of reasons, including the fact that half the time the mitigation company that comes in from the insurance company, when I come down, I still find moisture, I still find damages, and then I still have to bring in another mitigation company, all right? So in this case, the insurance company sent down a mitigation company. And I said, you're definitely not paying them. Let them in. Let them do the job. It may not be as perfect, but you'll get a better result. So a lot of times it's about understanding the situation, understanding what happened, but more importantly, make sure you actually have coverage. Make sure that you have a conversation with your broker and you've gone through the policy, making sure it's number one, reflective of the property, and number two, actually covering what you want. A lot of times there are small costs additional that'll give you quite a big difference in damages. For example, a lot of times there's a hurricane deductible. Sometimes you can have a hurricane deductible of 5 or 10%. And depending on the policy, that could be $50,000, right? And do you really want a hurricane deductible of $50,000 when you can pay $800 more or less for the year and have that covered? So a lot of times there is dramatic things that if you just review the declaration page, that first 3-4 pages, and you know what you're looking for, you'll recognize it.
That makes a lot of sense. Penny, what's next on the horizon for you when it comes to public adjusting?
No change. I'm out here. I'm doing things. I do have to be out and doing more of my YouTube channel, the Claims Guru Show. I've done a number of episodes. I've done an episode with both David Sweet and Ken Larson. Phenomenal guys. I bring them in on multi-million-dollar claims. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with them, and they're phenomenal guys, and they're very, very educational. And when it comes to understanding proper mitigation, they're very often I'll get called in, and the mitigation was not done right, and it changes. I'm very specific who I use because when I'm coming in for a client, I need to make sure, number one, the job's done right, and number two, the proper documentation is done right. Because without that, the insurance company is not paying, not for that or the work to replace it. So you asked me what's on the horizon. I'm out here, I'm working, and I have lots of room. I've built myself to the point where I have a team handling so many of the claims that I'm available to go out and bring in more claims. So yeah, I mean, I'm just hopefully gonna do this. I do have a book that's in the works. Hopefully I'll get that up and actually finished off in the coming months. So yeah, there's a few things on the horizon.
Well, that's really exciting, especially with what you've already built, Penny. Before we wrap up, if someone wants to connect, reach out, maybe they need help with a claim, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Sure. So the easiest way is Pinny, Pinny at zadjusting.com. I'm also on LinkedIn and Facebook. LinkedIn is probably the easiest. I think my LinkedIn is slash Penny Morozow. Let's see what my profile is over here. Yeah, P Morozow. So LinkedIn score IN score P Morozow, Morozow. Underscore, but just Google my name. I'm out here. Pinny, Pinny at zadjusting.com. Simplest, easiest, or my phone number. I don't care if it's out there. 347-668-8465. Text, WhatsApp, email. I'm around. I'm available. This is what I do. This is why I have a team handling my claims so I can be available for my customers, for my clients.
Penny, we love your passion for what you do. It was so great having you on the show today.
With pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for having me, and looking forward to hearing only positive news. And may your clients never need me. May they save my number so that when others ask, they can pass it along.
Excellent. And for our listeners, if you got value from this episode, make sure that you're subscribed to the Real Estate Pros podcast. We got more conversations lined up with pros out there who are building fantastic businesses. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.